All right, so my final thought is fuck everything about cars. I had one hell of a fucking weekend with my car. So, I need to take a drink of water before I get into this. So for Christmas, Amy got me a remote starter for my car. So about a month ago, I had it installed in my car, and everything seems to be working fine, okay, whatever, until last Friday night. Amy got home from work, and it's Friday, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go run to the liquor store across the street. Do you want me to get you anything? She says, yeah, whatever. I get in my car, and I drive across the street, and I go to the liquor store, and I get what I want, and I go back in my car, and I sit in my car, and it's a push start. It's a 2017 Subaru Legacy.
License plate number.
Yeah. VIN.
My social security is.
So I hit the button, and the car like turns over real quick, and then nothing happens. Like everything turns on, the car kind of starts, and then it turns itself off. And I go, oh boy, that's not good. So I do it again, and the same thing happens again. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this isn't good. And so I text Amy, and I'm like, hey, so I can't get my car to start, and I'm stuck in the parking lot of the liquor store. I'm going to need you to come get me. Luckily, the place that installed the remote start is literally down the street. So it's like the house, the liquor store is across the street, and then this place is like down the street, like down here. It's all pretty close. So she comes and picks me up, drives me down to the place, the car place, and I go in and I'm like, hey, so I just got a remote start installed in my car like less than a month ago, and now my car won't start. So they told me what to do to reset the clicker. And this is also, mind you, at like, 4:45. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I get back in the car and we drive back down the street the other way, and we go back to the liquor store, and I get in the car and I do what they told me to do to reset the thing and do all that. All right. Moment of truth. Foot on the brake. Start button turns green. Push the start button. Silence. The car doesn't even turn over at this point. I'm like, oh, shit. So then I'm like, oh, fuck. So it's like this place closes at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So before I had left, they like told me what to do, and I go, all right, so like, what if this doesn't work? And they were like, well, it should. Oh, I'm sorry. I went there twice, actually. So I went there first, went back, did what I needed to do. I hit the start button, silence, nothing. I'm like, fuck. So I get back in the car, back in Amy's car. We go back to the remote starter store, and I go, hey, now the car won't turn over at all. So now they're like, all right, it's probably your battery. Your battery's probably dead. You need a jump start. So then at this point, I go, it's like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're like ready to close.
Yep.
And I go, all right, I understand you guys are closing. If this doesn't work, and I need to get the car towed, can I just have them tow it to the parking lot, and then we can deal with this tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, that'll be fine, but like I'm 99% sure that it's going to work once you get it jump started. So I'm like, okay, honk, honk.
Kiss of death right
Clearly you don't know who I am. So I get back in the car again. We drive back to the liquor store parking lot. And at this point, I am starting to get mad. Before I was like, yeah, well, whatever, we'll figure this out. It's no big deal. So I get Amy to pull her car up to my car. We pop the hoods. I hook everything up. I hook up all the leads, do all that. Red to dead. Red to dead, red to fucking live, black to live, and then black ground.
It's all colored now.
Got it. Yeah. So
go red to red.
Yeah.
In red.
Well,
to
no. The order that you're supposed to put it on matters, so you don't fucking blow up in sparks. You go red to dead first.
Hey, put it to you this way: I don't know the order, and I haven't blown up in sparks yet either. So
I go through all that. I let her car run for a little bit, tell her to turn it on, let it run. All right, we're good. Let me do this. Step foot on the brake. Start button turns green. Hit the button. Silence again. I'm like, oh my fucking Christ, here we go. Maybe I didn't let it sit long enough. Maybe I need to pull a little bit more juice. So I give it a minute. And I go.
Did you pull your phone charger out of it?
Oh yeah, yep. Pull out everything. Pulled everything out of it.
I've had that before.
Pulled it all out. And I go, all right, let's try this again. Foot on the brake. Push the start button. Silence. I'm like, oh, shit. Maybe I hooked it up wrong. And I go, maybe I hooked it up wrong. I got to go look at the leads. And I'm looking, and I go, turn your car off. Turn your car off. So I go, and I reset the connection, and I go, oh, I had a bad connection. I didn't clip it on her battery the right way. This is my fault. It's got a better connection now. It's going to work. Turn your car back on. She turns the car back on. I go, all right, let's give it another couple minutes. Like, let's let this battery juice up, and we'll be good. Foot on the brake. Start button turns green. Hit it. Silence. And I'm like, well, I'm a massive piece of shit. That 99% sure it was the battery. Clearly, they never met me. I am the 1% where it was not the battery, and I'm a fucking moron. So now I'm pissed. Because all I wanted to do was go to the liquor store to get stuff to drink for Friday night. So I take the bag out of my car. I throw it in the back of Amy's car. I take the fucking leads off. I slam my fucking hood shut. I close hers. I get in her car. And I go, well, this fucking blows. I gotta call fucking AAA. I gotta have them tow the fucking car down the street to the remote start store. And they'll fucking deal with it tomorrow. So then I go on the app and I get on AAA, whatever, and I order a tow. And the AAA goes through, thank you, your estimated wait time is 40 minutes.
4 hours.
So I'm like, all right, well, we got 40 minutes, so we might as well just go to the house and start drinking. So I go to the house, we get home, she goes up and takes a shower, and I immediately just start cracking beers. And I'm like, I'm just going to drink until I forget that I have this problem. So about 30-ish minutes goes by, and I go, all right, let's probably start gathering my galoshes so we can go back and sit in the parking lot and wait for the AAA guy in case he calls and needs directions. You know what I mean? You get there 5 minutes early just in case, whatever. So we go. She drives back over, sitting there, and we're in the parking lot, and I get a notification from AAA. Thank you for waiting. Sorry for the delay. Your driver is leaving now. And I go, Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? You told me 40 minutes.
Oh, come on.
And then,
you should have fucking known that they weren't going to show up on time. That's on you.
I know, but I couldn't risk it anyway. You know what I mean? I had to be there. Luckily, he was only 15 minutes away. So the 40-minute wait turned into, 50 minutes. 55 minutes. So the guy comes, I explain everything. He's got one of those fun little battery pack, jump starter things where you don't have to attach it to another car. So the odds of fucking it up is way less. So I explained to him what's going on, and he's like, well, do you want me to try and jump it? And I go, yeah, if you don't mind. Because I had originally, when I called AAA, I requested a tow. And I was like, the remote starter place can deal with this. I'm towing it. So the guy gets there. He's like, do you want me to try? And I go, yeah, sure, let's try it. So he hooks up his little battery pack thingy, and I go and foot on the brake. Light turns green. Hit the button. Silence. I go, fuck. I foot on the brake again. Hit the button. Silence. And he sticks his head around the hood. Did you try and start it?
Just twice.
Yep, I did. It's not working. And he goes, oh, yeah, well, it's probably has to do with the starter then or the battery. I don't know what's going on. And he looks at it and he goes, I would suggest that you replace this battery in it. It's the battery I had when I bought the car.
Yeah. So almost 4 years.
Yes.
But a lot of miles.
It'll be 4 years in May and 113 miles.
Oh my God, it's so
the
many.
battery
113 total miles?
Yeah. The battery said it had a 30-month warranty, which is just short of 3 years. So when I see something like that with a warranty, it's built to last 31 months. So I got a lot extra out of it. Like I got almost 4 years when it was supposed to do like 2.5. So it was bad. The battery was corroded, all this bullshit, whatever.
That's pretty good though, right?
Yeah. So the guy tows it, and I go, he's good shit. Like I'm just shooting the shit with him. He's a younger guy. Now at this point, it's like 7:00 at night.
Did you give him a beer?
I was gonna offer him a beer. I was gonna. So we go. He tows it to the remote start store and drops it in the parking lot. And like the whole time we're just talking, shooting the shit, whatever. And I go, "Hey man, like I gotta ask, like, what do you think this is?" Like, and he goes, "Dude, honestly, like it could be the battery, it could be the starter. Like I don't know. Let these guys figure it out. Like I'm sure they'll do it." And I go, "Do you see this a lot?" And he goes, "Oh, oh, fuck yeah." He goes, "It happens all the time." He goes, "I just towed a Chevy 2500 last night because they got a remote starter installed like a month ago, and now the car won't start." And I was like,
did you bring it back here?
Yeah. And I was like, all right, man, that makes me feel a lot better. Because he was like, "Yeah, I see this shit all the time." He goes, "What happens is like the battery gets overloaded because the battery is built to sustain the car.
Yeah.
So when you add in an external thing into the car, the battery just it gets overloaded a little bit. So it wears out." So fast forward to Saturday. I roll in, and I drop the keys. Because among this, after my first or second trip there on Friday night, like the people at the place was like, "Well, let me go out and look at it." And I go, No. The car won't start at all. And they were like, "Oh my God. I thought you meant like the remote start wouldn't work." And I go, "No, the car won't turn on. I push the button and nothing happens."
Foot on the brake. Light turns green.
Yeah. Yep.
Silence.
Yep. So then Saturday morning, obviously they don't open until 10:00. So I stroll in at 10:07, and
they ain't there.
the guy's not there. The lady at the front desk is there, and I hand her my keys, and I go, "The car's out in the parking lot." I go, "Good luck. Let me know what's going on." And she goes, "All right, the technician or the lead guy, whatever, he should be here within 15 minutes. Like I'll have him look at it, and then we'll give you a call." So a couple hours goes by, and I get a phone call, and it's the lady who I'm best friends with now at this point because I've been in this fucking remote start store 6 times within 18 hours.
For one starter.
Yeah, for one thing. And she goes, "Oh, okay, hey, your car's all set, by the way." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I go, "Can I ask what it was?"
Can I ask what it was and what you did?
Yeah, and she goes, "Well, so we found out that when we installed the starter, the ground wire wasn't attached to a good spot. So what would happen is like if something happened and there was like a short circuit, obviously the ground wire wouldn't do its job properly. So that's what happened, and we short circuited, and then your car just wouldn't start at all. So we fixed that. We put the ground wire in a better location, so you shouldn't have that problem again." And I was like, "Okay, thanks."
Full no. Are you thinking what I'm thinking at this point?
Yes, that my car is never going to start ever again. That I'm going to have to go buy a new car.
You start calling our realtor and be like, "Yeah, so can we like move that closing date up?"
Yeah. I need money.
I'm in the need of funds right now.
Yeah. Can I get an advance on the sale, of the house?
That's what you need the Sarcasm Speaks Platinum card for.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. Well, I also was like, I need to get a new battery.
Okay, because in my head, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, they fixed the ground wire. That's neat and all. Yeah. Except this battery is fucking
The battery is like there was corrosion there was battery acid all over the top of it. Like I got 4 years out of something that was supposed to last 2.5.
Did you taste it to confirm?
Yes, I did. It tasted like lemons.
It tastes like burning.
So then I go to AutoZone, which just happens to be down the street in the other direction. And I go, I find the battery I need, and I bring it to the desk, and I go, and I know exactly how this is going to go. Not to be sexist or anything, so you guys can go fuck yourselves, but this, you guys will understand once I finish the story. So I walk into AutoZone and I get the battery that I need. I check, my make and car and all that shit. And I grab the battery I need. I bring it to the desk. And there's a younger girl. She's probably in her like mid-20s at the register. So I buy the battery. She asks for my information. She says, what car do you have? What year? She double checks that I got the right battery. And then she goes, okay, cool. So you're all set. Swipe the card, whatever. And I go, you guys assist with install? Because like I am not going to pretend that I know anything to do with cars. Like I know how to push the start button and I know how to shift the car.
Foot on the brake.
Yeah. Yep. Foot on the brake. Light turns green. Push the button. Hopefully it starts up. Outside of that, like I am not a car guy. I can't even pretend to be a car guy. Like it's way out of my wheelhouse. So I go, hey, you guys help with installation? And she's like, yeah. She turns to like the manager behind her and goes, hey, can we help with an install? And the manager goes, yeah, if that idiot fucking comes in, like there was a guy outside helping another customer, and he turns around and goes, I have no idea why he's replacing an alternator in our fucking parking lot. And I go, oh my God. Oh my God. So I wait a couple minutes and the guy doesn't come, the fucking idiot doesn't come in, and the manager's not coming out to help me. So this girl goes and gets a cart and pulls it out and goes, you can put the battery right on here. And she walks out and I go, okay, all right, she's going to do this. All right. This is what we're doing. So we go out, I pop the hood. She has a little bit of a tough time taking the battery out, like the clamp thing that holds it in place. She undoes the negative terminal. So everything's off but the positive terminal, which is also where all the corrosion is. And she tries to take that off, and things don't go so well for her. She's struggling the entire time, too. She takes a mallet off the cart, and you know how to use a hammer, right? Like, you hold the...
Typically, you hold the handle,
yeah,
and you
swing,
and you
swing, yeah,
with the wrist,
yeah. So I mean, granted, it's a car battery, and it's not your car, so you don't want to fuck anything up. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But she held it upside down with her hand on the back of the rubber part of the mallet, and if you're watching on YouTube, did one of these, like that speed. Trying to like loosen the junction between the clamp and the actual connection on the battery. She does that about 3 times. Turns to me and goes, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get this battery out. We can't do it here. So I'm like, of course. Of fucking course. So I go, all right. So then
so the car did start from the remote starter place?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You missed that part.
Yeah. Oh, it started. It started and I drove it to AutoZone.
See, I figured that the car didn't start.
Yeah, no.
And you needed the battery.
No, it started and I drove it to AutoZone to get a new battery. So then she zips everything back in and I go,
this ain't gonna start.
I hope this thing fucking starts.
It ain't gonna start.
I step in.
0% chance.
Foot on the brake. Light turns green. I hit the button. And it fucking starts up. And I'm like, oh, yes, let's go.
Boo.
So I drive it back to Amy's house. I pull it up the driveway. I pop the hood. And then I go in the basement. And I'm like, hey, I need a couple, like a socket wrench. Like I need some tools. Like, so I'm going down and I grab a bunch of shit. I go out and... try this. Nah, it's too big. Let me change this one. It's too small. Let me try this one. This one's not long enough to get down into the battery. And I'm like, fuck. I went in and out of the basement probably like 4 times.
Yep.
Didn't have the appropriate tools to do this.
That.
So I go, I gotta go to fucking Walmart right now to buy fucking tools so I can change my own battery. Oh, that was the other thing too. I was so mad that the girl just like wanted nothing to do with changing my battery and gave up so quickly when she was walking away. Because you have to pay them to get rid of your old battery. Otherwise, you got to go throw it in the ocean because that's a rule. So because I didn't want to throw it in the ocean, I wanted them to take it so they could do it. So I look at her and I go, hey, so when I get this out, can I bring the old battery back? And she's like, yeah, we'll take it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it wasn't like a if or whatever. It was a, when I get this out and swap them, can I still bring the old one back? And she's like, yeah, sure, you're good. So we're here and I'm struggling. And now I have to go to fucking Walmart. And on the way to Walmart, there's a Lowe's. And Amy's like, I'm just going to Lowe's. They have better tools, whatever. And I'm like, all right, I got to pay more money, but I'll have the tools longer. So I go into Lowe's, I go in the mechanic section, and I buy a box, a 20 set of ratchet sockets. So, because I'm a mechanic now, I know this stuff. I know these terms, socket stuff. So we go back, and I start zipping it out, zip, 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 whatever. And I just did a quick Google search. How do you remove corrosion from a car battery? Turns out, for all you listeners out there and watchers on YouTube, all you need is baking soda and water and a toothbrush. You pour some baking soda on the corroded part. You spray it with some water, and then you take a toothbrush, and you literally scrub it all away, and it all disappears. I don't know how it works, but that's physics. That's the 3 laws of physics for you.
I think if you...
That's a callback to a previous episode, hopefully for all you cereal listeners out there.
What does cereal have to do with this?
So I get the battery off. I put the new battery in. And I'm trying to figure out like, which way it goes. And I'm like, shit. Like, let me do this. And I'm like trying to zip it back in. And then I put the connection on the positive terminal and I tie that back down. And then I go to put the black, like the negative on the black. And it goes pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And Amy's like, what was that noise? And I go, it was the battery. And I go, well, I unzipped the old one and didn't get shocked. So I probably won't get shocked putting the new one in. So I was like putting it back on and it popped a couple more times. And I'm like, please don't electrocute me. So I go and I get it in and the clamp part that goes over it, like one of the bolts that holds it in was just rusted, so it didn't go all the way down. So it's not like snug in place, but like it's not going anywhere. He said before he fucking lost the battery through the bottom of the car.
Just fucking falls out.
So I go and I'm like, all right, well, I got this in. I hope this thing fucking works. So I go, here's the moment of truth. And I go and I sit in the fucking car, foot on the brake, light turns green. And I stop for a second and I go, I don't know what I'm going to do if this doesn't start. So with my head in my hand, I push the button and the car turns over and it starts. And I go, holy fucking shit. Now I'm a mechanic. I can add that to the list because now I know how to change a car battery. And so what I did was when I went back to AutoZone, I left the car running because I was
out of fear.
Because I was too nervous.
Out of sheer terror.
And when I brought the old battery back in, weird, the girl was gone.
Of course.
So the guy had to like run my information. I was like, I got the receipt in the car. You want me to go grab it? I'll show you. I was just here. And he was like, no, just give me your name and I'll look it up. And he goes, yep, no, you're here. All right, cool. So he took the cost off for returning the battery. And I go, hey man, like, I'm not a car guy. Like, do you mind like just looking at it to make sure I didn't like fuck it up too bad? And he looks at me like dead ass. And he goes, did the car start when you hit the button? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, you're good. And I'm like, Marron, what the fuck? What am I doing anymore? So I get back in the car, and in the meantime, I get a phone call from the remote start place because they had a jumper pack fun guy thing, and they left it in the back of my car. So then I had to drive back to the remote start place again for like the 17th time within 2 days and return that again. Left the car on in the parking lot. Returned that, got back in the car, drove it back to Amy's house, turned it off, and was like, well, at least it's in the driveway.
Yep.
So then today, before I left, I went to go hit the remote start button. You think it turned on?
Oh, God, no.
Nope. The remote start does not work.
Nope.
The car turned on when I was in it, luckily, and it worked. It got me here, but the car remote start button does not work. So I will be going back to the remote start store again for them to figure it out. My Lord, what a fucking weekend.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
I hate cars.
I'm kind of jealous.
I hate cars. This is why I hate cars. Like, I never bothered to learn anything about cars because they're stupid and they suck, and I hate them.
Yeah, so it's definitely that's I love how A led to B there. Where cars are stupid and I hate them, therefore I won't learn anything about them. Whereas if you actually know something about them, they're probably not that hard to fucking...
Yeah, no, probably not.
I mean, I know obviously computers are a thing, but
yeah.
like...
I mean, truth be told, I had no idea that changing a battery was that easy. Like, literally all I needed was the proper tools, and it took me about 5 minutes. Like, it really wasn't that hard.
But you never have the tools.
But I never had the tool. Well, now I do. Now I own them.
So I'll call you when I need
Yeah.
to fucking change a battery.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to be a car guy now.
Yeah. No, yeah, it definitely should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should buy a classic car and fix it up yourself.
Yeah, I'll do all the resto myself. I'm going to go buy...
Hey, you change one battery, you know what you should get into? Body work.
Yeah, fuck flipping trading cards. I'm just going to flip classic cars.
Yeah.
It's easy, right?
Listen, I hear everyone who's ever done body work say they love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, how hard can it be, right?
Yeah, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
Bunch of kids who went to the Volk know how to do it.
Yeah, I could do it.
We're way smarter than them.
We went to college. Oh, man.
I would say, can you tell me the byproducts of the Krebs cycle? Pyruvate and
not
some other
anymore.
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pyruvate.
It's pyruvate and something else.
Whatever.
Yeah, lactic acid.
But do you know how to change a car battery? Something that you rely on every
Yes.
single day.
Yes, now I do. Yeah. Yep. Good thing I went to college.
Good thing.
Didn't learn how to change a car battery until I was 29 years old. But I could tell you fucking about wolves in Yellowstone. Because that's what I wrote my essay on for my fucking MTEL.
It's so bad.
Oh, Christ. Well,